Well, I tell you guys, of all of the interesting team names we've seen so far, the Taipei Skywalkers is probably my favorite. I have that up with Black Roses down in American Samoa. I mean, it's just a great name. If you've ever been to Taipei, you know what I'm talking about. I'll admit, right, I haven't done the things that all of the YouTube gurus say you're supposed to do. I haven't created the thumbnail yet for this video, but when I do, hopefully there'll be some sort of view of the skyline or something interesting for you to sort of celebrate our trip to Taipei, and one that will hopefully be a little bit better than the last time we came around. Bomba over to Taiyuting. Taiyuting and Bomba, we've had them switch positions, and there's Lin Guanda, who's back in the squad after being away for a little while. We have him in that Segundo Volante role that we were talking about yesterday. I don't know if he's a great fit or not, but he's the player I want to succeed in that role. But you can see we haven't done much, just a little bit of knocking the ball around back and forth. He really needs to have that ball moved forward so he can get himself moved forward and have a shot on goal. I think that Lin Guanda is good enough to be one of the best players in the country. I don't know if he knows that, but that's what I think. And we're not seeing a lot of the best of anything here so far. This match has had a whole bunch of nothing in it. We had a goal by this point yesterday. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Now, finally, a highlight, Menegong with it and with a corner, and he knocks this one forward looking for Bamba, and that is in. Number 1 of the season for Kader Bamba. And that's his first goal for us. And that makes it 1-0 for Mars FC, and we are continuing to roll. Taipei Skywalker is not exactly the best team in the league, and they seem to be doing pretty well against us, at least when we have the ball in the middle of the pitch. But they were unable, unfortunately for them, to defend against that corner. And it's 1 Bomba and 0 for everybody else. And let's see what we can do here. Wen Shihao having another real quiet match. He's done that a lot. This ball is lumped forward. Xu Chengjie with it, and back to Menegong. Menegong lumps this one forward, looking for Cai Yuting. Can't quite find him, but it goes right back to him, over to Bamba now. Interesting, by the way, that Cai Yuting ends up finding himself so far forward since he's a center back. Li Chaba over to Wang Chunxian, over to Xu Chengjie, over to Menegong again. Menegong over to Cai Yuting, who lumps this forward for Wen Shihao, over to Ndaye, and that's an amazing shot. Man, what a shot by Ndaye. Wow, that's one of the best shots I've ever seen in Football Manager. That was amazing. That was just incredible. Look at this. Look at this. So we have the ball here, lazily knocking it around. Wen Shihao heads that one forward, and Ndaye says, all right, I'll hit that ball straight off of the first bounce with the right foot. And he looks like he had knocked that one just about perpendicular to his body. 2-0 now for Mars FC. And that was a samurai shot, man. That was amazing. That was amazing. I like seeing that. And yeah, let's keep this going. We want to keep morale moving up. We want to keep doing well. The morale hit that the team had from the beginning of the season when we had a bit of turnover in the personnel has mostly recovered. And there is Cai Yuting in the back winning the ball back by himself. And that's what we like to see. Yeah, morale is an interesting thing in Football Manager. You know, one way that you can help fight against those morale dips is by playing a lot of friendlies. Players like to play friendlies together, and that helps them get to know each other. And it's Bamba who's able to save this one out, but not quite far enough. And Lu Jianwen ends up knocking a shot. I'm not sure if he knows where the goal was. That was a good move to set things up for him, but he didn't follow through the way he should have. Silla with it over to Bamba. Bamba back to Cai Yuting. Cai Yuting over to Bamba again. Bamba looking for some way to break forward, and I think that the Skywalkers are playing a little bit of park the bus. This is the Taipei bus drivers. Ndaye now with it over to Silla. That's an easy goal. Cyrille Silla with the second goal of the season, and that makes it 3-0 for Mars FC. And I mean, you can see that as soon as we were able to sort of break down that little block that they had, then all this stuff is just opening up. And so you can see, we've got 3 guys following the striker, and then we had, who is this? This is Lin Guanda, who's following right behind. I talked with you about this yesterday. That is how the Segundo Volante role works. He follows behind. There he is again. You can see him right there following behind, right? Try to follow behind the play. You don't want to get too far forward, but you want to put the extra body in there so that it gives the defense a lot to think about. And we need to get our defensive players to go back a little bit faster than that. Fortunately for us, that was a poor shot from the middle of nowhere. But yeah, that's not really what we want to see. And I think that we do have some problems with the quality of player. We have good young players. We have young players who I think are going to be ready here to move up and to get some game time. But we do have to do something about some of the guys here on the first team. Wen Chihao now with it, over to Xu Shengjie. Back to Wang Chunxian, over to Yang Yiming. And Yang Yiming just has the ball stripped from him. That was a really, really poor attempt by him. And this is Tu Poan who scores. He's got to be offside, and they're going to call that as offside. They do. He has to be offside here. He's offside by a couple feet, I'd say. Yeah, at least a yard, maybe two. And yeah, I mean, it's easy. You can hammer it into the back of the net if you cheat. But we don't cheat around here. We play the right way. Wen Chihao looking complacent. I was kind of hoping that we'd see another goal from him. I know that he's kind of an old man who's supposedly past his prime, but I was hoping for a little bit more, and we didn't quite get it today, did we? We're just about done with his match, and it's all right. We'll keep starting him until he's too old and frail to do much more. We do have a couple strikers who are young who might want to move forward, but I don't think they're quite ready yet. Need to go back in the oven and cook. Ling Guando with it, over to Xu Shengjie, over to Wen Chihao, and see, that's what happens. He can't even win the ball. If you can't win the ball, it's kind of hard to score the goal. And there's Tu Poan with his goal. You knew that was coming for the Skywalkers. That one is onside. And you can tell that when he plays the game correctly and is onside, he doesn't quite do the same sort of blast with the foot. This is not the Thor hammer. This is a little bit of a tap in. Ever so gently. You don't want to break the eggs, right? Tu Poan with the goal, and makes that 3-1 for Mars FC. Really a consolation goal there at the end. And mostly a defensive breakdown on our part. There's got to be a little bit of complacency going on there, to be honest with you. I mean, because we've got this match won. They're not going to come back. Ling Guando over to Ndaye. And this is lump forward. Wen Chihao hoping to get something going here offensively. He just is having a poor match, and that's going to be the end of it here. I don't really see much else happening. We only have a couple minutes left to play. And it's Huang Chihue with it, and lumps this one forward for Tu Poan, who knocks it forward to nobody, and that's the end. That is the end of the match. This comes to a close. We have won the game away. 3-1 the final score. We had an XG of 0.65. Worst performance of us so far in this save. We still had about 65% of the possession, and we dominated just about everything else. Good average rating, a lot of sprinting. That's a little bit more like it. And hey, that's the way this one works. And we'll talk with you again tomorrow. See you then. Bye.